Very often I have students asking me for the explanation of mole concept and how to solve the numericals based on that. This is a topic pertaining to ICSE Chemistry Class 10. If you are one of them, then watch this video. What is a mole? It represents an amount of substance which contains 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. This number is known as Avogadro's number. Number 2, Avogadro's number says that 1 mole of any substance, just the reformatting of this, 1 mole of any substance has how many particles? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles, which means if it's an element, then it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. If it's a compound, then it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. If it's an electrolyte, then it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 those many ions. The molar mass will be the mass of 1 mole of a substance, and 1 mole of a substance has 1 gram molecule of mass if it's a compound, and 1 gram atomic mass GAM if it's an element. And if it is a gas, then 1 mole of the gas occupies 22.4 liters at standard temperature pressure, that is at STP. To sum up what we read, remember the 4 quantities you must know by heart. What are the 4 quantities? Mole, mass, number of particles and volume if it is a gas at STP. So 1 mole will have mass equal to GAM or GMM. Number of particles 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, and volume if gas is 22.4 liters at STP. All this must be known by heart. So if you want mastery over mole concept, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1 mole has mass equal to gram atomic mass or gram molecular mass if it's an element or compound. Number of particles means they will be atoms, molecules or ions. They will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. And if it is a gas, then it will occupy how much volume? 22.4 liters. Now that you have understood and known this by heart, let us move to some quick questions to understand the concept. Question number 1. Find the mass of 5.4 moles of water, and we are given these atomic masses. What are the 2 quantities? Understand the 2 quantities. What is to be found out? Mass. So I will write what is given, that is moles, and what is to be found out, that is mass. I will write like so. And if it is a mass, then I need GMM of water, and that will be water is H2O, so 2 plus 16, which is equal to 18 gram. And I'm going to write, if it is 1 mole, then mass is 18 gram. So 5.4 moles will have how much mass? Alright, so I'll have the mass equal to 5.4 multiplied by 18 upon 1. So 18 4 72, carry 7. 18 5 is 90, 97, so 97.2 gram, and that will be the mass of 5.4 moles of water. Okay, let us look at question number 2. Find the number of molecules in 2.2 moles of CO2. So I will have the moles which is given and number of molecules which is to be found out. So if I have 1 mole of CO2, it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, these many molecules. So if it is 2.2 moles, so X will be equal to 2.2 multiplied by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, these many molecules. Okay, hope you are understanding this. Now, when you are writing the answer, your answer has to be in terms of this, which is Avogadro's number. Question number 3. Find the volume at STP of 2.5 moles of CO2. Now, number of moles which is given, so that will be our first quantity to write. So I'll write here mole and I'll write volume at STP. If it is 1 mole of any gas, not just CO2 but any gas, how much is the volume? 22.4 liters at STP. So if it is 2.5 moles, then it will be how much? So your X will be equal to take the numbers across and multiply, and you will get 2.5 multiplied by 22.4. That will be 25 fours 100, carry 10. 25 twos 50 and 10 60, carry 6. 25 twos 50 and 6 56. So that will be 2 place decimal. So this is your answer. 56 liters at STP is the required answer. We come to question number 4. Find the number of moles in 24 grams of SO2. What is 24 gram? It is the mass. So we need to find the gram molecular mass of SO2. How much is that? S is 32, look here, and plus O2 means 2 of O, that will be 2 into 16. That will be 32 plus 32, which will be 64 gram. Alright, now the two quantities are given quantity first means mass. What we have to find? Number of moles. This becomes the simplest way of answering these questions on mole concept. If it is 1 mole, then mass will be GMM. Correct? So if it is 64 gram, then number of moles will be 1. So they have given us 24 gram and this will be X. So what will be the value of X? X will be equal to 24 into 1 divided by 64. So 8 threes and 8 eights. So 3 upon 8, that will be how much of mole? 0.83 is 24, remain 6, 8 sevens 56, remain 4, 8 5 is 40. This much of a mole. Okay, so this is your answer. So from these 4 quantities, they can ask you any 2. They can give you any one of them, ask any one of them. If they give you moles, they can ask you either mass, number of particles, or even volume. Got that? Supposing I talk about 1 mole of, let us say, CO2 gas. So 1 mole will have mass equal to GMM of CO2. I'm doing this mentally. It will be 12 plus 16 twos 32. So that will be 44. So mass will be 44 gram. Number of particles will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, the same, and because it's a gas, its volume will be this. So if I have, let us say, 2 moles of CO2, mass is going to be 88 gram and the number of particles will be 2 into Avogadro's number, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, these many molecules, and the volume will be 2 multiplied by 22.4 liters, which will be 44.8 liters at STP. So they can ask you, if the mass of CO2 is 88, find the number of particles. So you will say 88 grams will have how many particles? If 44 grams has 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. This will be the first line, this will be the second line, and this becomes the answer. Okay, they can even ask you, if it is 88 grams of CO2, then how much will be the volume at STP? In that case, you will say if it is 44 gram, because that is for the 1 mole of the carbon dioxide gas, it will be 22.4 liters. So 88 will be how much? So it will be 88 into 22.4 liters upon 44. See that? 2 into this will give you 44.8 liters. So all you have to do is play with this data. Alright. So remember, any one of these quantities can be given. They can give you number of particles and they can ask you how much is the mass. Let us talk about carbon dioxide. All right. Let us say that the number of particles was given as 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. These many particles of CO2 are given. So those will be the number of particles and mass is going to be how much? This is what is our question. So what will you say? If it is 6.023 number of particles, then the mass is going to be of 1 mole means 44 grams. So if it is this, then how much? Okay, let us see. Some of you may not understand this. So I'll just write over here number of particles and mass. I told you it is CO2, number of particles of CO2 I'm saying. Okay, so if it is mass, then I'll write GMM of CO2, that will be 12 plus 32, which will be 44 grams. Are you with me? Now, number of particles, if it is 1 mole means if the mass is 44 gram, then the number of particles is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Just now I told you the number of particles was 3 into Avogadro's number, means 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, and find the mass, that is x. So your x will be equal to this, that is 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 multiplied by 44 upon 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. If this is the case, then this Avogadro's number will get cancelled. And 44 multiplied by 3, 3 4 12, carry 1, 132 gram. That would be the mass of these many particles, means molecules of CO2. Okay, so by and by you will practice this. Remember, most important thing is this. This is very, 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 very important. You have to learn this by heart in order to have mastery over the topic, which is mole concept. Okay, so if the exams are coming closer, I hope you are being alert and understanding how to use this relationship. And all the best for your exams, all the best for your class 10. Bye.